This is Tom Colley for Through the Ropes Boxing. I am here with the former heavyweight champion of the world, Joseph Parker. Joe, how are you?
I'm good. I'm very good. It's nice to be here. I flew in this morning from New Zealand. Long flight, but it's nice to be here. I'm buzzing for it. Excited to see the fights tomorrow night.
What are your thoughts on the fights, Joe, and the fight week itself? I mean, I know you've just landed in, but you've been involved in these Saudi cards. You know, recently had that fantastic win against Wilder. Does this one feel even bigger and even more, given it's the Undisputed, first time in 25 years?
This is massive. I feel like 25 years we haven't seen, like you said, the Undisputed Unified Champion of the world. The last one was Lennox Lewis, so this is on a whole nother scale to the other fights. And obviously the other fights that have happened here have been massive events and fights, but this is for everything.
Joe, we know you've got a good relationship with Tyson, you spar together, you train together. How do you see the fight playing out on Saturday night, Joe?
You know what, I always back Tyson. It's not an easy task though. Usyk going to come on with superb footwork, throws combinations, and he's very accurate with his punches, but Tyson being the bigger man, I can see him coming in there and controlling the fight, and it's whoever sets the tone in the beginning of the fight will set it for the rest of the fight, I believe.
Now Joe, we know you're on a great run, re-establishing yourself at the top of the heavyweight game, looking for a fight at the moment. I know it's this hilarious call out with Dillian Whyte. Any ideas of your next opponent? Anyone in the pipeline?
No ideas. Well, we're just, at the moment I'm in New Zealand training and building with George Lockhart. Once we lock in a fight, and then we'll start camp with Andy Lee and start building towards whoever it is, but I'll fight anyone.
We know Anthonyjoshua is looking for an opponent in September. Is that a possibility, the rematch there?
I have called him out, so I think it's just up to everyone else to see what they want, but for me, I'll fight anyone.
Now obviously Zhilei Zhang and Deontay Wilder are going in there together. Two guys that have just been on the receiving end of a loss to yourself. How do you see that one going between those two guys, having just shared the ring with them?
Both of those guys have the ability to knock each other out. When they say it's a must-win fight, this is one of those fights where it's a must-win. The winner goes on to bigger fights, and the loser will get closer to retiring. But with that fight, Zhang is dangerous in the first half, and then sort of fades a bit, whereas Wilder is dangerous for the whole fight. And so whoever can land their punch first, really, because they're both big power punches.
You felt both their power. Who hit harder, Joe?
I would say Zhang, because he dropped me twice and landed the cleaner shots, but Wilder did hit it hard, but never landed very clean, so I was lucky my hand was up to catch those punches.
Have you got, I mean, obviously, I don't think you'd fight Tyson, would you, given that you've got a good friendship? No? So I was going to ask you, have you got one eye on the winner of this fight? Because at the moment, you know, you're like I say, you're on a hot streak, you're right at the top of the heavyweight game, you're going to be knocking on the door for a world title. Is one eye on the winner of this Undisputed fight, Joe? I
don't want to fight him because he's a close friend of mine and like a brother. But I do want to fight the best in the world, and if he is the best, that's the person I'm trying to chase and trying to fight. So we'll see, but I've said it before, he'll only do it if it's going to help set me up and my family for life, and he's one of those guys who will do things to help others.
Thank you, Joseph Parker, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for speaking to Through the Ropes Boxing. Thanks, mate.
One more, Joe. One more.